Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Welcome to Hello Uglies, the Dragula recap show for Season 6, Episode 7, titled Dungeons and Drag Queens, The Underdark. My name is Joe Betance, and I am joined, as always, by the goddess of glitz, glamour, goth, gossip, and gore herself, the one, the only, the very talented Miss Laurian K. Roggenkamp. Hello, Laurian.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired. I'm ready for Thanksgiving to come because I get a week off of work.
Oh, you get a whole week?
Yeah.
So it's not, because when I was in school, a lot of times it would be like we get off that Wednesday or Tuesday.
Yeah, there's some districts that do that. Mm-hmm. It depends. There's a certain number of school days you have to have in a year.
Yeah.
I forgot what it is. I should know, but I forgot what it is. And so some districts decide that they vote, like every so many years they vote. And so some districts will decide that they want to have a longer Christmas break or a longer summer break. And so they'll plan accordingly. So they'll either start later, start earlier, then they may not have as much of a Thanksgiving break, that kind of thing.
When I had my tutoring company, most of my classes were in Newport Beach, and so I would schedule around that. And one thing, I don't know how they played around with it, but I do know they got an entire week in February that they called Ski Week. And that was between the President's Day holiday.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
How long of a Christmas break did they have?
I don't know where they pulled the days from. I don't know. Maybe they went to school a little longer. I don't know. I shouldn't say Christmas, winter break. Our winter break is 2 weeks long, but we've been voting since I got there to make it 3 weeks. But then everyone's like, no, that'll screw things up. So yeah. What would you have to lose to get 3 weeks?
I think probably like a week of summer break.
Oh yeah, people are like, man, we don't need 3 weeks. Well, by the way, Lauri and I had a very interesting talk over on Just Between Us Ghouls over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia, which by the way, big things, not even happening at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia, which big things are happening there too, but big things happening at Patreon. I got a big update from them today about different things, and I'm going to promote different things at different times because they're appropriate. But I will say some very special things for you guys are coming over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. What I would suggest is, I don't know if I've ever promoted this. You guys can go there and join as a free member. And there's content for free members as well. So you can go there and not pay anything. And there's a certain level that's just free. You don't really get anything. But I will say big things are going to be happening, especially around January. So I would just become a free member there, patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia, and then you'll be alerted when those very amazing things happen there. Or, I think I've said before, you can do a free week for the executive tier and exclusive tier over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. But enough with all that. This week, the ghouls must create a D&D character and choreograph a fight scene. In the end, both Grey Matter and Anti-Heroine were named the winners of the challenge, while Asia Consent and Jaharia were placed in the bottom two. For the extermination challenge, the bottom feeders had to solve riddles or face the torture of a tattoo. In the end, Jaharia was murdered at the hands of the Boulay brothers. Laurian K. Roggenkamp, what did you think of that extermination challenge, and did the right queen get the chop?
Yes, and the extermination challenge was just as ridiculous as all the other ones.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like they're darker, not like mood, but like lighting wise. Like I feel like they're making it harder for us to see. And this is purely probably just because I'm old. But I was like, boy, would I love it if somebody shined a light on the scene. Like I need the lights to be turned up just a tidge.
I'll be honest with you, and we haven't talked about this yet. There's the Magic Mirror couldn't give look descriptions this week because there was no. This is one thing. If I were a drag queen on this show, I would be very frustrated by something in that, they spent a lot of money on these looks. The one thing I'll say about Drag Race is if you do a look, they let you show that look off.
Yes.
And it's often the case on Dragula that they do these quick cuts and you can't really see the looks. In this case, because of the lighting and the quick cuts and what they're doing, you didn't get a good chance to see the looks. And so there's no way that that the Magic Mirror could have seen the look to actually give an analysis. So there's no Magic Mirror this week.
And I will say this. Look, the way the show's going, it was clear that Jaharia was going to be the one to go home, right? Yeah. However, I will say one of the things that I didn't like was I truly liked Jaharia. And I felt like she was the last like kind of punk rock contestant of the season. And I think that I think that my fear with this show is that they're turning more away from like just sort of like what used to make them great, which is just sort of like making what you can with what you have. And now it's become more of a Drag Race thing where it's like, what can you buy and have made for you that can look really good? And so, I don't know. Look, her outfit wasn't great. I'm not going to say that it was. But I felt like she's always been a great performance queen. I felt like she's always brought it in the performance. And in a way that none of the other queens have really brought it. Maybe Grey Matter. But I felt like she's been far and above the best performance queen. So I'm sad that she left, but I get why she left. So,
in terms of the extermination challenge itself, what's strange was I really didn't like it. If I'm being honest with you,
they're
having
regressing.
them solve riddles.
Yeah,
but the riddles part of it, like either have them get a tattoo or have them solve riddles, but like the two together, and maybe, okay, look, having them solve riddles, but maybe there's like a pain element if they don't solve the riddle. But then just having them do a tattoo, part of the tattoo was just sort of weird. Because even Asia Consent got one of them right, but she was like, well, I'm not going to have just part of a tattoo. I'll just do the whole thing.
Yeah.
I
think they were trying to in my head, I think they were trying to be like, this tattoo is, tattoos have multiple steps. So maybe we could break down those multiple steps into a fun game.
Yeah.
And I get what you're saying. I think that, they should have just had him do the tattoo.
Yeah.
Or just had him design a tattoo for the other person.
Yeah, which they've done before, which is fun.
Yeah. But and I don't know. Personally for me, as a person who likes tattoos, I don't really feel like beyond the pain of getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't feel like getting a tattoo is really that much of a challenge because tattoos are fun. And even if it didn't look great, like you still have a fun story for it, you know? So 100%. To be honest with you, it's like they're giving them that tattoo probably would have cost them at least like $500 easily. So they're giving them a free.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm just ballparking it, but that tattoo would have cost them at least $500 easily. So they're giving them a free tattoo for being in the bottom, like, I don't know. What I think they should have done is sort of done something like they did with the piercing, where they like tattoo a line, but no ink. So then it just leaves a scar.
Oh, is that a thing?
I don't know. I'm just making it up. I don't know. I don't even know if you're legally allowed to do that.
You know what's weird is we've been bitching, like, the right queen went home, honestly. Like,
Yes.
Like, the people who are left are genuinely better than Jaharia.
Yes. As far as, like, looks go.
Yeah, as far as looks go and whatnot. And probably Yuri will be next, you know, I imagine.
Yes. Unless she, like, I don't know, she's a wild card. Unless she, like, really pulls it out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she's been in the bottom, you know, bottom middle for the last two.
So, yeah, so we'll see what happens. But it seems like the right queen went home. And so, yeah, the right queen went home. I don't know if I was a big fan of this extermination challenge. And yeah, we're going to talk about the rest of the episode. So why don't we do this? Lauri, why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we are going to talk about the rest of the episode.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Future you faces some big expectations. Work out more, go to bed earlier, and most importantly, make smart money decisions. Thankfully, today you has Bank of America. One place with tools and guidance to help balance tasks from budgeting to saving. So you can just be you with big plans. Do more with a bank that asks, what would you like the power to do? Explore our tips and more at bankofamerica.com/futureyou.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting. Go to your happy place for a happy price with Priceline's Black Friday sale. Save now and travel later with our best deals of the year.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
We are back. All right. After the extermination, the creatures speculate who will walk through the door. Jaharia walks in to no one's surprise and spills the tea on the challenge. Yuri shares that she needs a win. The monsters speculate about what the challenge will be, and anti-heroine calls Gray out for their silence. Let's stop right here, Lauri. This after the extermination thing, it seems to be the big moment of drama in every episode. Did you have any big thoughts on this?
No, I mean, not really. I just felt like it was kind of same old. They were just talking about. I mean, they pretty much were in the same boat. They thought Jaharia was going to come back, but I think a couple of them wanted Aurora to come back because they had developed more of a relationship with her.
Yeah,
but they knew that it was going to be Jaharia.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah.
So when Jaharia comes in, she starts to tell them about the extermination. She goes, God, she's like, oh my God, it was so scary. It was very difficult. One of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, yada, yada, yada. And then she goes, and they even shocked us. They shocked us with electricity, right?
Yes. And then suffocated us.
And suffocated us. But the way that they showed us that she was electrocuted, well, then they showed a clip of them being suffocated. But then they went like, and I was like, that all you just did was play sound effects.
It literally looked like the soundboard that you were. Yeah,
yes,
it looked like somebody had a soundboard and was like, and then they were like, they weren't even like they were like, like they weren't even like doing it where you could see like, oh, they're actually getting it was such basics. Yeah, it was crazy. The thing that I love is when the producers are like, really sell it, really be like, this was terrible. This was an awful challenge.
Yeah, they're often they put a lot of the onus on the contestants, and then the other thing too is, Jaharia's like, That was very difficult. I'll never do that again. And I'm like, when would you do that again,
When would
Jaharia?
it be offered? I'm telling you right now, Jaharia, if you listen to this, if a man walks up to you and offers to suffocate and electrocute you, don't do it. Because it's not like the show. He will legit kill you. So, yeah, I don't know. It was crazy. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I want to get your I want to get more thoughts.
No.
So there's a part where Auntie is coming for Gray because it's a
I
weird
thought you were
thing.
talking about the Jaharia moment.
No,
but,
I'm talking about
yeah.
Oh, go ahead then.
No, you go.
And they're going back about like it's really weird. Again, it's very forced, but they're mad at Gray for being quiet and boring or something.
Yeah.
And then Gray says something along the lines of "speak softly and carry a big stick," which is Teddy Roosevelt's old line, and they lose their minds.
They lose
with
their
laughter.
fucking minds.
They lose their fucking minds. Like someone like Sinbad was at the Apollo in 1991.
Yes.
Like they are like they can't breathe. They're laughing so hard about this horrible joke. And I want to know what your thoughts were on that.
I thought it was hilarious because to me it was just like they just had no fucking idea what that reference was for. They were just like, "Phoop," like carry a big stick. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like
it wasn't that funny.
It made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I would love it if they actually Googled what that was.
Yeah, they were just, I mean, I was like, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think they knew what it was. And so like, I think even Gray Matter, who made the joke, wasn't even that, he seemed kind of surprised.
Yeah.
He seemed like Ariana Grande when that reporter told her that she met all her friends and fiance and everybody through the Ariana universe. Have you seen this clip online?
No.
Ariana Grande's on the red carpet for Wicked.
Okay.
And this person's interviewing her, but she has like a shitty microphone, so you can tell she's like an internet, like a TikTok reporter or something. And she says to her, she goes, "I just want you to know, I met 95% of my friends and my partner through the Ariana fandom."
Okay.
And she's looking normal at her, and then she goes, when she says that, her eyes get real big. She's like it's really like awkward and cringy for that reporter. It's super weird.
Yeah, because Ariana Grande is a terrible person, so you should not be fans of hers.
I actually am not going to fight with you on that one, Lauri.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you on this Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning's a terrible person.
Not a terrible person.
But she's not as bad as Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande.
Oh, interesting.
Did no one else see this video where she makes fun of a donut, one who works at a donut shop and calls her fat? Like,
I remember the part where she licked the donut.
Yeah, she made fun of this woman's weight.
I don't remember that part. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember that part. I just know about the licking the donut.
So, she's a terrible person.
Yeah. By the way, if you have any complaints about that, we haven't mentioned this in a long time, but we have an official complaint email address. It's thebestoftoday@gmail.com.
Did you know that Adam Salandra asked for my email address? And I was like, you really don't listen to the show.
Well, I don't know what your email address is.
I'm not going to tell you then.
Oh, all right. Okay, for this week's main challenge, the ghouls must conceptualize and create an authentic D&D style look. They must also pair up with another contestant and choreograph a battle scene. Finally, the Boulet brothers assign the Deadly Dolls their race and class assignments. They were as follows. Gray Matter was Goblin Warrior. Yuri was a Troll Warlock. Anti-Heroine was a Troll Druid. Pi was an Orc Warrior. Asia was a Tiefling Beastmaster, and Jaharia was a Goblin Wizard. Later, the girls chose who they would pair up with, and they were as follows. Anti-Heroine and Gray Matter teamed up. Pi and Jaharia teamed up, and Yuri and Asia Consent teamed up. Those were the three different pairs. In the lab, the creatures get to work on their outfits. Gray asks Auntie to go to another room to work on their choreo. In the cauldron, Gray and Auntie bond over their different relationships with alcoholism. Elsewhere, Jaharia choreographs the battle scene between herself and Pi. And finally, it's floor show day, and the ghouls get ready for the big performance. Asia pulls Pi aside because she seems nervous, and Pi reveals that Auntie approached her about an alliance, but shared that Auntie wants to use that alliance to eliminate Asia. Meanwhile, Asia and Pi decide that they want to take Auntie out. Lot to discuss here, Lauri. And let's go piece by piece. First, let's start with that main challenge announcement. Did you have any thoughts there on any of when they're announcing on video to the queens what's going to happen?
No, I liked it. I mean, I like when they do. This is why I think people like Dragula, because they do these different style things, and I think that I like this challenge. I think it's a fun challenge.
Yeah, it was a fun challenge. I don't know if it's necessarily fun to recap, especially as we get closer and they're getting rid of more and more of the interesting characters, the people who really tell the story of the show.
Yeah.
But in terms of actually visuals, it was very entertaining. I still want to say, especially with a challenge like this, which this challenge, and you can tell by the outfits and everything, requires so much pre-planning. So
yes.
we talked about this last week, where it's this whole thing where they go like, this week you're going to be doing a Dungeons and Dragons challenge and we're going to give you an assignment. And then they go, what?
No.
Oh my God, what?
No.
Oh my God, yes, right? And then, girl, you had your assignment weeks and months ago. And look at your outfit that you made. Because that's the thing is, then we immediately see them in the lab. And there's no way they could have created these elaborate outfits.
They're not even making the outfits.
No.
They're not even making that. They literally just spend the entire time doing choreography.
Yeah.
So it was I also feel like there was a part of me that felt like they also didn't really get to pick their partner.
Yeah.
Like
I could see that. Yeah.
I felt like there was they were just hamming it up and making it too obvious that who they were going to pick. You know what I mean? Like it was just like a little too.
Because don't you think Pi would have gone with Asia?
Yes. That's what I thought. I thought Pi would have gone with Asia or,
I think they were hoping Pi and Jaharia would get in a fight.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Mm-hmm. But Lauri, because Lauri and I have talked about this a little bit. Lauri was watching the episode before I watched it, and she was like, oh, I'm at this part where anti-heroine and gray matter are alone.
By themselves.
By themselves, right? And then gray matter says in a confessional, she's like, anti-heroine seems kind of out of it. I think I better pull her aside and talk to her. But at Lauri pointed, I go, Lauri, tell everybody what you pointed out.
They're by themselves.
Yeah.
She's going to pull her aside from nobody?
Yeah.
They're by themselves. I also love that anti-heroine is so down Gray Matter's throat for not being loud and boisterous and annoying like she is. And then when they get in the workroom, she's like, fine, whatever. I don't care. Let's just... And it was such a contrived, thing. Like, to me, to be honest with you, I would have liked something that was at least somewhat connected to what was going on. But it was such a contrived thing where they were just like, you just come up with a story that you have. And so anti-heroine was just like, I'm just feeling really down because my mom used to be an alcoholic. And it was what? How?
It's funny that you say that. I didn't make the connection that you just made, which I think is really smart of you. I didn't think about it that way. I wrote down a note where I was like, I love how anti-heroine in confessional is like, I'm feeling really bad about calling Gray, serious and boring. I think I better talk to her about it. And then doesn't bring it up and talk about herself.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. I think she was like, I got to talk about, they want me to talk about something.
Yeah. They want them to connect on something, so they connect on alcoholism. Yeah. Anti-heroine's mom was an alcoholic, and Gray Matter is an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic, 1,000 days sober, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. And what I love is that anti-heroine just seems like she's barely paying attention to what Gray Matter's saying. Because at one point, at the beginning, Gray Matter goes, oh, see, I have a connection to alcoholism, but it's the opposite. I was the one who had the thing. And Great anti-heroine's like, yeah, we both have the same problem. It's like, she's like, this is my time. Shushy.
Yeah. Lauri, can you hold on for a second?
Yeah.
I think I better talk to Lauri. I'm not really feeling it today. There's something going on. Hey, Lauri, can I pull you aside?
Yeah.
I had a really kind of difficult day today. So I don't know if I seemed out of it today on the show.
I'm sorry. Can I?
Yeah. I have this mixer I'm using today, and it wasn't working all afternoon, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody to go on Riverside with me to like test it out. And finally I did, and then it wasn't working, and I finally got it to work, but yeah, I think I'm just still kind of like tense from that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I hit a dog earlier today.
Did you really?
No.
Oh.
You looked...
Yeah, but I always appreciate about that.
You look genuinely...
I always appreciate that about you, Lauri. Is that you always try to make me laugh, and I just want you to know I appreciate you.
I'm really pissed at Joe right now, but I'm not going to say anything. He literally took what I said about anti-heroin and gray matter, in my opinion, and tried to paint it out as his own. Is painted out a word? I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm going to take Joe aside and confront him about this. Hey, Joe, can I talk to you for a sec?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
So remember I called you and I told you my opinion on gray matter and anti-heroin?
Yeah.
And then you, in the podcast, said my opinion, but then didn't give me the time to talk about it? That kind of frustrated me because when I was growing up, my mom used to beat me with chairs. And so, it really triggered me and made me feel like I was being beaten by a chair.
Lauri doesn't know that 2 of my uncles died in a chair accident in 1986. I think she should know before she says things like that to me. Hey, Lauri, can I talk to you? Can I pull you aside for a second?
Sure.
I know you didn't mean anything by it and whatnot, but my Uncle Beto and my Uncle Paco, they died. I don't know if you heard about this in 1986. There was they tried to build like the tallest chair pyramid, and they were part of it, in 1986. People were doing that kind of stuff in the 80s.
Yeah.
And they tragically died in that accident. And so I just thought that was really insensitive for you to bring that up.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Joe. Yeah. I get where you're coming from because I have an uncle, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what Lauri's uncle had to do with anything.
Sorry. I know you're doing your confessional. I'm glad we could connect.
Me too. Okay, well, Lauri, did you have anything else to talk about in the lab?
No, I feel like, it was, okay. Actually, I do want to bring this up. Okay, first off, I'm going to talk about this alliance thing, even though I think we both know that it's a stupid bullshit thing. It's not a real thing. They want to get rid of anti-heroin. There's no way they can do that besides actually clubbing her and dragging her into an alleyway.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't make any sense. However, Pi kind of threw anti-heroin under the bus a little bit because she made it seem like anti-heroin just came up to her and was like, you, me, alliance. And walked away. And they even go back to the conversation. And Pi is like, I'm interested. I'm interested in what you're saying. So it's like, she's not really telling the full story to Asia Consent.
Lauri doesn't know that Nathan called me today. He wants to do an alliance with me to get Lauri out. I think I owe it to her to be honest with her. Hey, Lauri, can I pull you aside? Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, hold on one second. Joe doesn't know that Nathan called me and he wants to be in alliance with me. So he wants to get Joe out. So Joe is just asked to talk to me, and I think I'm going to use that time to tell him that Nathan wants to be in alliance. Yeah, Joe, I'm coming. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Lauri, I don't know what's on your mind, but I just want to tell you something. Traffic?
Yeah, I'm always thinking about traffic.
Oh. Nathan called me today.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
he wants to be in alliance with me, and he said he wants to like cut you out.
Bitch.
What's wrong?
He called me and said he wants to be in an alliance with me and to cut you out.
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Hold on for a second. I tried calling Nathan. He
Hello? Nathan-y.
Hello. I didn't call anybody.
Hello?
Yeah. Lauri doesn't know I didn't really call Nathan. I just wasted a lot of time there for no reason whatsoever. I better pull her aside and be honest with her. Hey, Lauri, can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't really call Nathan.
It's okay. I was using that time to eat the sandwich that Star got me. Hey, Star, can I talk to you? Star keeps making noise during our recordings.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take her aside and talk to her. Star, can I talk to you? No. You're not supposed to hear that part. That's my confessional. Can I talk to you for a second?
Am I in the bit right now? Or
Yes,
not?
you're in a bit.
Yes, you can talk to me.
Okay. So you're walking around making a lot of noise.
No, I'm not.
And it's kind of frustrating me. But I love you, and I want you to keep doing what you're doing because you're beautiful.
Was I really making noise right now?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
She's really making noise, but she's holding a knife, and I'm scared of her.
The fork.
Oh, well, it looked like a knife.
What is it?
Your haircut looks nice, Joe.
Oh, thank you. At least somebody noticed my haircut.
Oh, hey, nice haircut. Once again.
It really hurts my feelings that Lauri didn't notice my haircut. I think I better pull her aside and talk to her about this. Hey, Lauri, can I talk to you?
I'm never going to say that name.
Yes.
Can I talk to you, Lauri?
Yeah.
It really hurt my feelings that you didn't...
Shut up!
Okay. Any other thoughts on Floor Show Day or anything like that, or the Alliance? Or the Alliance where they... Again, they're like, we better take Auntie out. How are you going to take Auntie out? Tell me how.
Look, I personally am not a fan of anti-heroine, right? Mm-hmm. But the Boulet brothers love her. Yeah. So how are you going to take, like, potentially the number one ringer for the crown out? Like, how is that going to happen?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's ridiculous. But that's the thing. That's what this show is like. What? I don't understand what does the Alliance do? Like, how has the Alliance helped them in any meaningful way?
I don't know. And I don't know why. And how, I would love for what they think the audience thinks will happen.
Yes.
I want to know what they think the audience thinks will happen.
And to be honest with you, push comes to shove, I could totally see Pi and or Asia consent throwing one of them under the bus. Like, I could see them definitely. Like, the Alliance means nothing to anybody, including the people that the Alliance is in.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish I would have said shut up instead of fat when he...
Oh, that would have been
good. When you did that. So I'm going to pull Joe aside. Joe, can I talk to you for a sec?
Sure.
Hey, I wanted you to kind of repeat what you were saying about me not noticing your hair and how that hurt your feelings.
Okay. Lauri doesn't realize I was going to have her do this anyway, but I'm going to pull her aside and I'm going to suggest it like it was my idea. Hey, Laur?
Yeah.
Can I talk to you for a second?
Sure, Ja.
I think it would be funny. I can always just cut in you saying shut up instead of fat.
Okay.
In there. So why don't you just give us...
Shut up!
Okay, there you go. I'll pull that and I'll move it in.
All right.
I'm glad I thought of that right now.
Yeah. Wait a second. Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the floor show. Now, the floor show, the magic mirror could not see the look, but the theme was Dungeons and Dragons: The Underdark. Were there any looks that stood out to you that you wanted to talk about or anything?
I mean, to be honest with you, I thought everyone kind of, except for Jaharia, I thought everyone kind of did a good job. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was actually kind of shocked. Well, we'll get to the judging. But yeah, there wasn't anyone that I except for Jaharia, there wasn't one that I thought was like not great. So yeah, I liked him. Anti-heroine's makeup was the same that she's always done. So I was like, oh, they're definitely going to ream her for doing the same thing. And they did not do that at all. So yeah, I don't know what they like or don't like.
Okay. I didn't, I'll be honest with you. I know the Boulets say this all the time, but I actually genuinely liked all the looks, even Jaharia's, even though you could tell Jaharia's was a lot more Party City than the other girls, so to speak.
Well, hers was just a cloak. I mean, that was really all it was. I mean, it was a nice cloak.
With like the disco pants and stuff
but it
like
was
that.
essentially a cloak. And
yeah. But genuinely, I liked all the looks, and I'm being honest with you. There wasn't a look. I see what they were talking about with Asia and her, but that had to do with the performance more than the look. Were there any looks that they really kind of shaded? I thought they all looked really good. Besides Jaharia.
Did they say something about Yuri's look? I feel like they said that her look was like not the best, but not the worst or something. Like they kind of gave her a very like safe.
Let me look at Yuri's. Because I think it might have been that maybe her makeup was good. Because I have the pictures here. Yuri was what?
Because I liked it. I don't remember not liking it, but I just
There's Pi. There's Jaharia. Yuri, that's Asia. Where was Yuri? No? It was Yuri and who? Oh, Yuri and Asia.
Yuri and
No, I'm looking at Yuri's right now. I really like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still in it. Someone said He-Man, and it is. It's very He-Man.
Yeah.
The Masters of the Universe. Yeah, I like it. And I'm looking at it right here. Here's like a close-up. Yeah, I like it. I still like it. Yeah, I'm a big fan. All right, final judgment. On the main stage, no one was safe and everyone was up for critique. Gray Matter, Anti-Heroine, and Pi were in the top. While Asia Consent, Jaharia, and Yuri were in the bottom. In the end, Gray Matter and Anti-Heroine shared the win, while Jaharia and Asia Consent were in the bottom two. Back in the cauldron, the ghouls discuss who they think should go home. Asia and Jaharia plead their cases to the non-voting jury, while Pi volunteers to be cursed in the next episode. For this week's Extermination Challenge, that one queen from last season read riddles. What is her name again? The one that was reading the riddles?
I have no idea.
I don't remember her name. Read riddles to Asia and Jaharia. If they solved the riddle, they didn't have to have a portion of the tattoo put on their body. If they got it wrong, they got one part of a tattoo. In the end, both queens got both tattoos. We open on it, and for the Extermination, we open on a dimly lit. Here's the thing I'm going to do next.
Okay.
Every week, I'm going to read, I'm sure, this same thing. So here you go. We open on a dimly lit, empty soundstage. A drag queen silhouette wanders aimlessly through the soundstage. She's lost. Suddenly, out of nowhere, one of the Boulet brothers murders her. This time, the murdered queen is Jaharia. Lauri, any final thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, for the judging, I thought it was weird. So I felt like Asia Consent's outfit wasn't bad at all. Like, I mean, most of their critiques were about her performance, but I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, you give a queen an arch set and expect her in like what, however many days to turn it around and be a proficient archer. Yeah. And then Boulet brothers were like, oh, we were helping them. It's like, you didn't give her any techniques. You didn't give her any tips to help her.
Or even like a workaround. Even like, you know what? You can't shoot this bow and arrow. Why don't we do this to make, like, in other words, like, for instance, I'm not even directing this thing. You don't have to see the arrow fly. They could have just shown her like pulling it back and then you would know what was happening.
Yeah, exactly. And they didn't
have to show her shooting it.
Yeah.
Because I think even to shoot a real bow and arrow, which that was not a real bow and arrow, I think is very difficult. So it's not like, who wouldn't know how to do that? I couldn't do it.
Yeah. No, definitely. You wouldn't be able to figure it out. So that was a little frustrating. And also,
it really hurt my feelings that Lauri didn't say I could totally shoot the bow and arrow. I think I should talk to her about it. Hey, Laura, can I talk to you?
Sure.
Right now, when I was doing the show, I was... All right. Any other final thoughts on the episode?
But so I was going to say with her, they were kind of saying her looks didn't look real, like their bones didn't look real or something like that. But then if you, the anti-heroine won, and I felt like her costume didn't look quote unquote real. I mean, look at her makeup. It was the same makeup style that she's always had. So I don't know. I just thought I was a little frustrated that they love anti-heroine for some reason, and her continuous, insistent on having that makeup style. So I don't get it, but who am I to judge,
Who are you to judge? Okay. I don't have any other thoughts on this episode. This actually might be the shortest notes I've ever had on an episode. Look, this is all the notes I had right here.
Oh, wow.
That's it. I didn't really have any notes. So why don't we call it a day there? I know you're tired.
All right.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Hello Uglies. Be sure to join us next week and every week as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of Dragula Season 666. So, for Lauri Roggenkamp and myself,
so long, Uglies!
Thank you for listening to Hello Uglies. Have something to say? Leave us a message at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. For access to more LGBTQ content and other Afterthought Media shows, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. Hello Uglies is an Afterthought Media podcast.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.